My name's Officer Derek Mills, and I need to tell someone what's really happening in Millfield County, Ohio, before they come looking for me. I graduated from the police academy 3 months ago, top of my class. I wanted to make a difference, help people, all that idealistic rookie stuff. When I got assigned to Millfield County, a rural area 2 hours southeast of Columbus, I figured it'd be quiet. Maybe some drunk drivers, domestic disputes, the occasional meth lab. I was so wrong. My first day, I met my training officer, Sergeant Ray Kowalski. He was exactly what you'd expect from a rural cop with 23 years on the job. Thick mustache, beer gut, tired eyes that had seen too much. He shook my hand with a grip that could crush walnuts and said, "Welcome to the cornfield, kid. Let's take a ride." We got in the cruiser and drove out into the county. And I mean out. Past the last gas station, past the last house with lights on, into an ocean of corn that stretched to the horizon in every direction. The sun was setting, turning everything gold and red. "Beautiful, ain't it?" Ray said. "Yeah, peaceful." "That's what everyone thinks." He reached into the glove compartment and pulled out a worn spiral notebook. The cover was stained, and the pages were dog-eared and filled with different handwriting. "This is the real patrol guide, not the one they gave you at the academy. This one." I laughed. "Is this a hazing thing?" "I wish it was." He handed it to me. "Read it. Memorize it. Follow it exactly. Your life depends on it." The first page had a list of rules written in neat block letters. Millfield County Patrol Guide. Do not deviate from these rules. I flipped through the pages. There were at least 30 rules. Some crossed out, some added in margins with different pens. My eyes caught on a few. Rule 4. If you see a hitchhiker with a deer's head, do not stop, even if he's wearing a suit. Especially if he's wearing a suit. Rule 11. On Tuesday nights, the 10 p.m. tornado siren will sound 13 times. Park the cruiser, turn off the engine, and do not move until it stops. They track vibration. Rule 18. If you pull over a vehicle and the driver has no face, give them a warning and let them go. Do not ask for ID. I looked up at Ray. This is a joke, right?" "You'll see." His voice was flat, dead serious. "Come on, Sarge. Deer-headed hitchhikers? Faceless drivers? This is pretty ridiculous." Ray pulled the cruiser over to the side of the empty road and turned to face me. His expression was harder than concrete. "Listen to me very carefully, Mills. I know how this sounds. I know what you're thinking. But there's things in this county that don't make sense. Things that don't follow the rules of the world, you know? In that notebook, that's 23 years of officers figuring out how to survive. Some of them didn't. Their names are in the back." He gestured to the notebook. I flipped to the last page and saw a list of names with dates next to them. 8 names, 8 dead officers. "What happened to them?" I asked quietly. "They didn't follow the rules." For the rest of that first week, nothing weird happened. We responded to normal calls, a fender bender, a noise complaint, a welfare check on an elderly woman who turned out to be fine. Ray almost seemed disappointed. "Give it time," he said. "It always starts slow." On my 8th night, things changed. We were driving through the cornfields around 9 p.m. when Ray pointed to a figure standing on the side of the road ahead, a hitchhiker with his thumb out. As we got closer, my stomach dropped. The man was wearing a perfectly tailored gray suit, shiny black shoes, a red tie, and where his head should have been, there was a deer's skull, complete with the antlers. "Don't slow down," Ray said calmly. "What the hell is that?" "Exactly what it looks like. Keep driving." The deer-headed figure turned to watch us as we passed. I saw empty eye sockets, The jaw hung open slightly, like it was smiling. "Rule 4, Ray said. "Never stop for him. He's been trying to get a ride for 15 years. "That's impossible. That's a person in a costume." "You think so? Pull over. Go ask him to take off the mask." I didn't pull over. "Who is he?" I asked. "We don't know. Some officers think he's a lost traveler. Some think he's something that crawled out of the old quarry. Doesn't fucking matter. What matters is if you pick him up, you don't come back." "What do you mean you don't come back?" Ray was quiet for a long moment. "Officer Patterson picked him up in 2015. Thought he was just some weirdo in a costume. Figured he'd arrest him for public disturbance. We found Patterson's cruiser 3 days later, parked in the middle of a cornfield 20 miles from where he'd picked up the hitchhiker. Driver's seat was covered in blood. Patterson was gone. We never found him." I felt cold. "And you just let this thing keep walking around?" "We don't have a choice. This county don't work like other places. You follow the rules. You survive. You try to be a hero, you end up on that list in the back of the notebook." The second incident happened 4 days later, on a Tuesday night. At 9:55 p.m., Ray pulled into an empty church parking lot and turned off the engine. "What are we doing?" I asked. "It's Tuesday, almost 10 p.m. Rule 11. I'd read that rule, the tornado siren, the vibration. I'd assumed it was some kind of metaphor or inside joke. At exactly 10 p.m., the tornado siren began to wail. 1, 2, 3. Count 'em, Ray said. 4, 5, 6. I counted. The siren blared 13 times, each one longer and louder than a normal tornado warning. The sound seemed to vibrate through my bones. Then it stopped. For a moment, everything was silent. Even the insects stopped chirping. Then I heard it. Movement in the corn. Not rustling of wind. Something else. Something heavy pushing through the stalks. Multiple somethings. Don't move, Ray whispered. Don't even breathe loud. I looked out the window. In the moonlight, I could see shapes moving through the cornfield. Tall shapes. Too tall to be human. They moved wrong, like their joints bent in places joints shouldn't bend. One of them came close to the cruiser. I could see it more clearly now. It looked almost human, but stretched. Its arms were too long, hanging down past its knees. Its head was too large, tilted at an angle that should have broken its neck. It stopped right next to the window. I held my breath. My heart hammered so loud I was sure I could hear it. The thing pressed its face against the glass. Its eyes were completely white. Its mouth opened, showing too many teeth. Then, it moved on, disappearing into the corn with the others. We sat there for 10 minutes before Ray finally started the engine. What are those? I asked, my voice shaking. We call them the corn walkers. They come out after the Tuesday siren. Stay in your vehicle, stay still, and they'll leave you alone. Make noise, run, try to drive away, and they'll chase you. They're fast. Faster than any cruiser. This is insane. Fucking insane. Welcome to Millfield County. I should have quit right then. I should have turned in my badge and driven back to Columbus and never looked back. But something kept me there. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe I just couldn't accept the world I knew had rules this wrong. By week 3, I'd seen other things. Lights in the corn that moved in patterns. A woman standing at a crossroads at midnight who disappeared when we got close. A phone call that came through the radio from a house that burned down in 1982. Ray explained each one calmly, referring back to the notebook. There's rules for everything. Procedures. ways to survive. Why doesn't anyone know about this? I asked one night. Why isn't this national news? Who would believe it? And who would come here if they did? The county protects itself. People who ask too many questions tend to disappear or forget what they saw. It's been this way for a long time. How long? According to the oldest records at the station, since at least the 1950s. Maybe longer. On my 26th night, everything fell apart. We got a call around 11 p.m., a disturbance at a property on Old Mill Road. The address meant nothing to me, but Ray's face went pale when he heard it. "We're not responding to that," he said. "What? Why not?" "That's a Rule 27 location. We don't go there. Ever." I pulled out the notebook and found Rule 27. Do not respond to calls from Old Mill Road past 10 p.m. It's a trap. A trap for what? For officers who ask too many questions. Ray started driving the opposite direction. "We can't just ignore a call." "Yes, we can. That's exactly what we're gonna do." But something in his voice was off. He sounded scared, more scared than I'd ever heard him. "Yes, we can. That's exactly what we're gonna do." "Ray, what's really going on here?" He was quiet for a long time. Then he pulled over to the side of the road and turned to me. "You've been doing good, kid. Following the rules, keeping your head down. But there's something you need to understand. These rules, they're not about protecting us from monsters or ghosts, or whatever the fuck you think's out there." "Then what the hell are they about?" "They're about keeping us complicit." My blood went cold. "What? The deer-headed hitchhiker?" "That's Michael Webb. He's a cult member who wears that mask to scare rookies. Cornwalkers? They're real people, in a fucking costume. The whole thing's theater, designed to make us believe in something impossible, so we don't see what's actually happening." "I don't understand." Ray's hands were shaking on the steering wheel. "Millfield County's a human trafficking operation, Derek. Has been for decades. They use the corn, the isolation, the fear to move people through here. Mostly women and children. The rules keep us officers from investigating too closely. Keep us afraid to look in the wrong places." "That's..." I couldn't process it. "You've known this whole time?" "I figured it out 5 years ago, and I made a choice. I could try to stop it and end up like Patterson, killed. Or I could play along and survive. I chose survival, and I've hated myself every day since." "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because that call to Old Mill Road, that's not a trap for monsters. It's a trap for me. I've been leaving anonymous tips to the FBI, small things, breadcrumbs, and they figured out it was me." He put the cruiser in drive. "I'm going to respond to that call. I'm gonna break every rule in that fucking notebook, and I'm gonna expose everything. Ray, if what you're saying's true, then they're gonna kill you." "I know." He looked at me with those tired eyes. "But I can't do this anymore. Can't be a part of it. Maybe I can't fix it, but I can make enough noise that someone pays attention. Then I'm coming with you." "No." He pulled out his phone and handed it to me. "I recorded everything. Names, locations, evidence. It's all in here. When I don't come back, you take this to the FBI field office in Cincinnati. Not Columbus. Columbus might be compromised. And you tell them everything." "Ray!" "That's an order, Officer Derek Mills. Get out. Walk to the gas station 2 miles back. Call a cab. Get out of Millfield County and don't come back." I got out. I watched him drive away toward Old Mill Road. That was 6 hours ago. Ray hasn't come back. The radio's been silent. I've been sitting in this gas station bathroom, staring at this phone, trying to decide what to do. I look through the files. It's all here. Financial records, shipping manifests, names of dozens of officers and county officials, photos of compounds hidden in cornfields, not supernatural prisons, but real buildings where real people are being held. The corn walkers are guards. The deer-headed hitchhiker is a scout who identifies potential threats. The Tuesday night siren's a signal. All clear. Move the next shipment. Every rule in that notebook was designed to keep officers away from the truth. And now I'm sitting here, realizing I have two choices. I can take this evidence to the FBI and hope they believe me. Hope that Ray's sacrifice meant something. Hope that I can actually make a difference. Or I can walk away, pretend I never saw any of this, go back to my normal life and let Millfield County keep its secrets. I'd like to say the choice is easy, but Ray survived for 18 years by choosing silence. Patterson chose to investigate, and he's dead. But I keep thinking about those files, about the faces in those photos. All of them waiting in the dark, while officers like me drove past, following rules designed to keep us blind. I'm writing this in case something happens to me, in case I don't make it to Cincinnati. If you're reading this, you need to know, Millfield County, Ohio is not what it seems. The monsters are real, but they aren't paranormal. They're human, and they've been hiding behind ghost stories for decades. I'm taking Ray's evidence to the FBI. I'm breaking every rule in that fucking notebook. And if I disappear, tell them to look in the corn. Not for ghosts, for the people who are still alive and waiting for someone to finally come looking.